to the 12. It's WFI, Los Angeles. Ariah, all praise the Most High through the Spirit. Yeah, man. Hey, man, we about to get it in real quick, man. We about to get it in real quick because we have to expose the fact that all of these prophecies that's been, from 70 AD to now has been pointing at the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. All right. And so we want to break some stuff down, man, because the so-called Jewish man has literally robbed everything about us, man. We live amongst their shadows in this life because of it, man. So we about to expose some stuff, man. Exposure morning is today, man, through the Spirit. All right. Because they don't fit. Look, the so-called Jewish man don't fit no prophecies, man. We see them every day. All right. We see them all the time throughout the streets, cities, especially out here in Los Angeles and various other places. All right. They're all over, even all over the earth, man. They all through Mexico. They all through different, islands, Caribbean islands, the seas. Hey, man, the so-called small hat man is everywhere portraying to be the children of God, man. All right, so we're going to deal with it, man, through the Spirit. We are going to deal with it through the Spirit, man. And I want to break down Isaiah chapter 3, right? And we're going to put Israel on trial, and we're going to put the so-called Jewish man on trial. All right. No, we're going to put the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on trial, and we're going to put the so-called small hats on trial. All right. And we're going to see, shalom, shalom. We're going to see who lines up with who, man, through the Spirit. Because none of these so-called small hats, I see them every day, man. Where I work at, I see them every day. And they all in unity. They all together. They got communities. They got money. They got people. They got things to back them up. They got a whole nation to back them up and nations to back them up. All right. So who really fits these curses, man? How the world the Israelites fit all of these prophecies, and these people don't fit no prophecies, but nobody has nothing to say about them, man. All right. Now, hey, even if the so-called apologetics of the world, the Christians that want to combat Israelite jakes today, all right, I don't hear them trying to combat the so-called Jewish man and all the genocide that they doing based off the some of the scriptures in the Bible. They're using the scriptures, and they're physically going to war with different nations in the Middle East, right? I don't see no Christian damn apologetic, no vocab Malones. I don't see none of these cats shaking their hand towards the ones that saying they Jews. All right, all I see is us being attacked. All right, but all praises, man, it come with the territory, and we built for that, man. All right, so let me go to Deuteronomy real quick, man, because this stuff pissing me off, man. It pisses all of us off, man, through the Spirit. All right, we always got to make our claims, do our breakdowns. We got to do all of this stuff just to prove who we are, when these people just can walk around and boo-hoo. People can walk around and boo-hoo their way into wealth, right? I mean, we don't give a damn about these damn Edomites, man. So let's bring this out. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right? Now, what is they? They are those curses. The curses of Deuteronomy 28 will be a sign and an indication that the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has specific curses upon them. It's how you identify who they are in the last days. You can't identify the Israelites by the blessings right now, by the high status in the earth right now. You're not gonna witness that. You're going to witness the Israelites in the lowest estate. Why? Because we broke the commandments like we always talk about, right? So with that, man, we're going to dig into Isaiah chapter 3, man, right? Because our people get away with a lot of murder and wickedness, you know, and it's based upon how this system is set up, man. This system is set up for our people to come against each other. This system is set up for our people to constantly put each other down and constantly, you know, not have no unity with amongst each other, right? So let's get it. Let's see who fits these prophecies, man. We can go all through the Bible and see, like I said, we're gonna put both parties on trial and see who at least fits even close to that, man. Right? Like for instance, like Luke, what was it, Luke 20:21? Like, let's just all you have to do, if people was really honest, they will sit down and just look at the Bible, read the scriptures, look at the prophecies, sit back and look who really fits this, right? Because if the gloves don't fit, you must call quits, man. You got to see who really fits these scriptures. If you really believe in the Bible and you really read it verbatim the way it's read, and you look at these prophecies, who fits them, man? Who fits them? A so-called small hat, who we see every day, or the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Look at this. This is Luke 21:24. And they shall and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. Okay, who was led away captive into all nations? He said, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now that should be a real easy understanding of prophecies, lining up with the right people. But guess what? It's not. Why? Because your hatred for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You refuse to receive the fact that the greatest revelation on the planet Earth is the fact that the true Israelites is in your possession, man. That's scary. That's a scary thing. The real Israelites is in your possession, whom you have destroyed their communities, their language, their people, their mindset. That's a scary thing, man. I don't want to be near anybody that was involved with that, man. All right, so let's get it though. So we're gonna break down Isaiah chapter 3 and see who really fits these scriptures, man. All right, who fits these scriptures? It's plain and simple. All right, get the hatred out your mind and read the Bible for what it is, man. And these so-called Negroes, these Christian Negroes that want to get on Instagram, TikTok. I mean, the Most High he gonna meet up with you, man. He gonna meet up with you. He gonna creep up on you, man. All right, because you love your enemies way more than you love your people, man. You know, and that's what Christianity put in your mind. Trust me, I know. You know, you have a distaste for your people because the state that they in, which is the ghetto state that we in, you have a distaste because it don't line up with the white supremacy Christianity. So you're like, oh man, I ain't black. But you don't understand, homie, these are the curses that got these people looking like the way they do. Right? But you don't pray for your people in Christianity. You don't pray specifically for the nation of the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're not going to physically just pray for them. You're going to pray for everybody, and they probably, you probably add a few Jakes, a few blacks and Hispanics, Native Indians. Yapping about, huh? You'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, man, we in the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to look at these scriptures and we're going to see it for what it is through the spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, God, that's right, King. For behold, the Lord of hosts do take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the the stay and the staff, and the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. Right now, that's twofold, man. That's dealing with the spiritual aspect of the fact that the authority of Israel and authority of Judah has been stripped away from us. Right? We don't have no specific authority, you know what I'm saying, in a position of power to speak for our people. Right? That's why everybody's trying to speak for us, and it's not working. Because we don't have the power to do it. Now, we had certain examples in the past during the 60s of that authority trying to regain itself, but it was under falsehood, though. It's not going to work. Under falsehood, our movements and all that stuff will never work, right? And this is not no movement, but this is an awakening, just to let you know, if you don't know. But just to use the, in the past, we look in the 60s, hey, man, you had people that wasn't in the truth. They spoke eloquent. They spoke with authority, like, Malcolm X and so on and so forth. But it was under the pretense of falsehood, and we couldn't come up under that. So the Lord had to break all that up. And now once we integrated, which was the worstest thing that we have ever did, once we integrated, it was over, man. Integration was the nightmare. Because once we integrated, we lost everything. We already lost everything as soon as we went into the slave ships, but nevertheless, we lost everything fully when we got integrated. And we see the damage control of today. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick. And I mean, like I said, man, the Jewish man walks around in his heaven all the time, man. He don't fit none of these curses, bro. He do not fit none of these curses, man. This is Deuteronomy 28, 64, real quick. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies, for by men and by women, and no man shall buy you. Now, when you think about the so-called Holocaust, that was only 3 years. That was 3 years of so-called genocide, right? Can you compare 3 years to 500? Absolutely not. Right? And not only that, it says, no man shall buy you, meaning redeem you. Okay? So for 500 years, we have not seen no redeemers. We've seen men that try to redeem, which is buy back, which is save, basically. We seen men try to do that. It didn't work. It says, no man shall buy you. Now, if you go, like I said, we putting the so-called Jewish man on trial. If you go and look in the history of the so-called Holocaust and the way they're bringing it out, the way they, indoctrinate, most of Jake's, they stuffed it in our brains, throughout high school about the Holocaust. But if you look at the so-called cost, you'll see that there was a redeemer to redeem them. America redeemed them, right? They went to war with Germany to save the people in the Holocaust. Now, notice they don't mention no blacks, no so-called Negroes or just Hamites. They don't mention no blacks that was murdered in the Holocaust. Where were them people? Them people weren't saved. There's no pictures or there's no artifacts or no documents of the Africans, which was documented that they were there with this so-called small hats being saved. All right. So they got many saviors, man. The Jewish man got many saviors. He got America to save them. They got these different politics, these different governments that came and made them a little space out there, which is our homeland over there in the Middle East. So they got many saviors. You had the Rothschilds that bought a massive part of Jerusalem and called it Tel Aviv. You know what I'm saying? So there's many saviors. They don't fit these prophecies, but we do, like we said. Right? Let's go back to Isaiah. So, like I said, how can we fit all the, even if it's a coincidence, how can we fit every bit of these specific things that happened that was prophesied that was going to happen? How we fit them, and the so-called small hats don't fit none of them, but yet they're exalted on the earth. You don't find that suspicious. So when the scripture says in Isaiah chapter 3:1, for behold, the Lord Yahweh of hosts, do take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the state and the staff, that's the authority. The authority has been stripped from you completely. You have been completely stripped from any authority that you ever once had. It says the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. All your resources are going to be completely wiped off. You don't have no status to where you can, build your own empire, build your own, city. We see what happened with the cities that we once built and the resources that we once had. So the Lord says, I'm going to dry up every resource that Jake ever had because of the disobedience. And it's just to prove who we are, man. The curses is to prove who we are, man. It's not the blessings yet. The blessings going to prove who we are when we in the state of redemption. So when we get redeemed and those blessings come upon us, blessed coming in, blessed coming out, Deuteronomy 1-14, we're going to see that in the kingdom. And that's going to identify who the children of God is. But not now. Not right now. According to, there's more curses in Deuteronomy than blessings. Why? Because we presently living in that, man. All right, so let's keep going. It says, verse 2, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient. Right? So you got the mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, and the prudent, and the ancient. Right? The captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the eloquent orator. Right? So you had eloquent orators. Like I mentioned, even today you had eloquent orators. Right? You had eloquent orators back then that came out of Israel, and you have eloquent orators right now, which a lot of us are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our brothers and sisters, even some of our sisters, they know how to speak. Right now, you go to a Jewish man, the Jewish man can't speak. He's not no orator, man. Cut it out, man. What? Name one thing you ever heard a so-called small hat say something that just moved your spirit. Oh my God. Hey, Jake got that though. Jake got that, man. All right. Jake got that like nothing. And everybody acknowledged that too. Everybody acknowledged that too. You know what I'm saying? So the orators, he says, I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. What? Babes gonna rule over them? Well, that's in many, like for instance, well, let's keep reading and then we'll break it down. It says, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall be rule over them. It's just like Josiah ruled over Israel when he was like 12, I believe. He was a 12-year-old and he was ruling over Israel when the time where Israel was, surrounded by idols, man. It was a lot of idolatry in Israel at that time. And Josiah had to come up. That was a kid coming up to judge a nation by destroying the idols and ruling over that place. That's a form of judgment. When he put a young man that's taking that position of authority, he's taking that position of authority based upon the wickedness and sin that's in the nation of Israel. So you can liken that even today. Majority of brothers that's in the truth and shaking the hand to our people Hey, they're young men. They're young men. Right? He says, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Right? And babes gonna rule over them. Young men gonna rule over them. And we always seen that. That's the state of judgment, man. All right. It's just like even when John the Baptist came on the scene, you know, he had camel belts, you know, he eating wild honey, you know, he's doing this stuff, and this is a Levite, man. This is a this is a Levite priest coming out the desert. Shalom, shalom. Coming out the desert. Why? Because that was a form of judgment to the nation of Israel for all of their iniquities. You had the priest, you had one of the top men, which is a Levite at that time, wearing abominable stuff on him. A camel is abominable. It's in the law. And he's wearing that as a judgment that Israel has fallen into idolatry and every other wicked, abominable thing, man. So when a young man is being raised up, as like the disciples as well, you can use, hey, the disciples, they were super young at that time. The disciples were young men. These are a form of judgment because the elders supposed to step up, but because of the idolatry and former iniquities, none of that stuff is happening, man. They're not putting their self in a position to rule. So who's going to come and rule? Hey, the young man, right? It says, and the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. Right? Now, do we see that today? I don't see no Jew, so I don't see no small hat little kid bucking up against their elders. I don't see that. But what I do see is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians bucking up against their elders, right? Defying their elders, man. I see that all the time, man. Utter disrespect, no home training. You know, they look at the elders today like, you know, oh man, I don't want to hear none of these. I'd rather listen to these Negro rappers that's just been talking madness and folly. I'd rather listen to them. They got more wisdom. Right? Who fit these prophecies, man? Who fit these prophecies? Is it a coincidence? Now, is this a coincidence? And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor, right? The neighborhoods, the ghettos. What lies in the ghettos? Gangs, gang members. They are oppressing the people, man. We see that all, and that's in every state. That's right, man. Many young kids are bucking against their elders. That's right. And you know, of course, that's all part of prophecy. You know, let's bring this out real quick through the spirit. I'm just, like I said, you can just use common sense with the scriptures without any bias pretense. You have to be biased to not say we ain't the people, man. You have to be hateful. All right, so let's go to real quick through the spirit. Let's go to 2 Timothy. No, 1 Timothy's. No, that's not it. Salaki. All right, so Khan. Maroon. Now we ain't no maroons over here. Oh, marooned? Do you even know about the maroons? Are you saying Moors? We're not. We are the Israelites. But if you talking about Maroons, a lot of Maroons was Israelites. You talk about Moors, a lot of Moors were Israelites as well, man. So I don't know what you specifically saying. But anyways, the scriptures literally says that kids will not respect their parents in the last days. We see that. We see kids, they don't respect eldership. You know, a lot of go into the neighborhood with a group of elders and tell all these young Negroes, hey man, and Hispanics as well, you know, because they got just as much as gangs as we got. Tell them, hey man, y'all need some order. Y'all need some order, and we here to help y'all get that order. Moron. Yeah, okay. We got all you scoffers, once again, if you don't like what's being said, you can go the other way, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna speak the truth, man. And in these last days, that's what the scripture says. And I love the fact that all these different scoffers coming out of the wind. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what that's proving? What Yahweh Shah says, we shall be hated by all men, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. And the Israelites on the streets, man, we are hated by all men, literally. But we made for this, man. We are made for this through the Spirit. So, I mean, hey, say what you got to say, man. Say it with your chest, too. Because when the Most High come, he going to come with heavy rain, heavy judgment, man. Yeah, come. Yeah, man, like I said, man, everybody hates the so-called One West. Ain't no so-called One West. It's the doctrine of the Lord, man. Given by the prophets that came out of the One West. You know what I'm saying? These people don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't know what's going on. They just so bent out of shape because we didn't destroyed every doctrine there is through the Spirit of Mashiach Yahweh Shah. I would be mad. If I was on your side, I would be mad, man. Yes. Somebody look at this dude. Craig, the judgment of God is not coming. It has already come, stating that everything is good. Everything is good? All right. Let's get back on these prophecies. We're going to leave these scoffers alone. You know, judgment must come. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 3. Let's read 5 again. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. So these curses is hard to come off. There's a saying I always use, man. I always use this saying. Whether rich or poor, all right, whether small or great, nobody can escape Deuteronomy 28. Whether rich or poor, whether small or great, nobody can escape Deuteronomy 28. What do I mean by that? Even our people that's in a high status in this world. Look at them now. Look at Diddy. Right? Look at R. Kelly. Look at Puff Daddy. Look at all these rappers, man. They getting killed. You can't escape, man. You can make all the money in the earth. Hey, the Jewish man make millions of dollars. I don't see them get butchered like we getting butchered, man. I don't see it. All right. So hey, man, like I said, man, we're not listening to no delusional, emotional men or women. We sticking with the Bible. Matter of fact, let me put this out real quick, man. This is Isaiah chapter 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Ain't no light in you, man. That's why you mad. You ain't got no wisdom. Most High didn't put no wisdom in your spirit to understand these scriptures. I'm talking about you Negroes and Hispanics that love Christendom or Islam. It's slime. It's slime. All right. White supremacy Christianity. All right. So let's get it, man. Like I said, we get into Isaiah chapter 3, man. If the glove don't fit, you must call quits. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. Now he says the base against the honorable. That's funny in itself. You got a lot of base men of Israel, you know, that don't want to handle their business, don't want to handle responsibilities. They don't want to work, coming against the brothers that do work. But they get more honor in this world than the honorable man that's doing everything he's supposed to do. All right? He get persecuted because he's doing stuff honorable. Right? Honorable is to be honorable in a world that exalts folly and madness. You know, you're not going to get honored here. You're not going to get honored. The Bible says folly is set in great dignity, right? It's a respectable thing to do folly. You get millions of subscribers, millions of dollars. What's that one? I don't know that brother name, but it's this one YouTube influencer that they keep showing. You know, the brother with the dreadlocks. I don't know specifically his name, but all he do is just follow. All he do is just look at other videos, and he danced like a buffoon, and he made millions off of that. Folly is set in great dignity, but the rich, what is the rich? Those that have rich wisdom, and they set in low places. That's us. It says, and the base against the honorable. Verse 6, when a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. Right? Got people getting in the position by the people, and they end up falling. All right? The people wanted a king in Israel in the time where there was judges. The people wanted a king. What happened? The Lord gave them what they wanted. They wanted a king based off all the nations around them. So instead of them influencing the nations, they got influenced by the nations, like today, and wanted to have a king and a ruler to rule over them, man. You know what I'm saying? And we seen how that was. Or they put all that different troubles and situations on one man's hand, and then blame him if whenever he slip up on anything. Right? In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house is neither bread or clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. And that's mighty in itself, man. Like, because there's a lot of people that don't support the men that's out there doing the work, right? And that's it. I'm just talking in general. I ain't even specifically just talking of the Israelites that's in the truth. This in general. There's history of you know, brothers not getting support, sisters not getting support on certain things they're trying to push, and they end up being broke. Right? We don't support our elders like that. It says, in that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. He said, brother, you got people backing down from the position of authority, you know, because the people will destroy you, man. People will destroy you, put you on a pedestal, and destroy you. For Jerusalem, that's why you got like when you're dealing with leadership, you have to already put in your mind a sacrifice have to be made, man. You know, you have to really literally sacrifice your life in to put yourself in a position like leadership position. So shout, hey man, all praise to Yahweh Shema Shad for those that the Lord set up, man. It says, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, man, to provoke the eyes of his glory. They show of their confidence, do witness against them, and they declare their sin. All right, here we go. And they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Now, what is he saying right here? He says, the show of their countenance do witness against them. What is the show of their countenance? He about to tell you. And they declare their sin as Sodom. Homosexuality, man. They declare this, they're open homosexuals. They're open homosexuals, man. Jake, hey, I didn't even know there was so many Northern Kingdom homosexuals, man. I thought it was a gang of Southern Kingdom already. But it just goes to show that we follow each other, either in madness or folly, or glory and honor. You know what I'm saying? And so he says, the show of their countenance do witness against them. You've been brought down so low that you had to turn that side and get bent backwards and act like a woman, man. That's Shalom, okay? That's how deep the judgment of a Mashiach Yahweh Shai has been placed upon the nation of Israel, man. Because I think that's the greatest, that's the greatest sin that's hard to come out of, man. You know what I'm saying? He says, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. They don't hide it. You know, they had a term back in the 80s and on down, you know, in the closet. If you was going that way, you was moving that way, it wasn't too many. Why wasn't too many? Because they were in the closet. But now you have this social media, and social media, you got men that were in the closet back then. They coming out now, and they doing live streams. All right, they doing videos. And they showing all the folly behind them and everything they into. And then you got Jake, they'll see that, and they probably was secret about their passions, but now they see it on the internet, and now they're open to their desires, their wicked desires. Salaki. See, this is stuff we talking about. But you can't see this on the so-called Jewish man. Jewish man, he is the wickedest man on the earth, but yet he still hides his wickedness, which why majority of the world, you know, up until now, majority of the world, you know, exalted these people. It says they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, right? Because that's one of the greatest sin is getting involved. That's right. Everything comes out to the light sooner or later. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we can't hide it, man. The Most High says, you get a book of Amos like we like to kind of bring out. And the Most High says he going to judge Israel only, man. Your sins will never be unpunished. Amos chapter 3 and 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities, man. We can't get away with nothing, man. We think we can. And the Lord, he will allow you to do whatever you have to do for a few seconds and then smash you until you get it right, man. You know what I'm saying? And actually, that's a beautiful thing because he chastised those he loved. Man. I'd rather get beat up. It's the time. It's that moment when the Lord stopped beating you up, and it's that moment of silence. It's that period of silence. Yeah, you need to be scared of that because the next thing coming is going to be for your detriment. All right. It's just like first King Saul. King Saul, once the prophet stopped talking to him, once the tribulation stopped hitting him, He was paranoid, man. He's like, all right, man, why is the Lord not talking to me? You know? Come on. So I'm about to let's keep going though, through the spirit. Verse 10. It says, let's go back to 9. It says, the show of their countenance do witness against them. Right? You got men wearing makeup and all this madness and folly in they spirit, man. I was gonna pull out some pictures just to show us, but we know what it looked like, man. It says, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say unto the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Right? And the righteous, they're going to eat the fruit of their doings in these last days, man. All the good stuff, the stuff that the oracles of the Most High, statutes and commandments, all the goods, the revelations. Hey, we're gonna see good, man. We're gonna eat up everything that the Lord put in our mouths, and we brought it out without fear. Hey, we're gonna eat that up pretty soon, man. Let's bring this precept out real quick. All right, and it's gonna be good in eating so. This is Galatians chapter 5 through the Spirit. Galatians, let's go to 6. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 10. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. You know what I'm saying? It says, let us not be wearied in well doing, for in due season we will reap if we faint not. Right? So, hey, in due season we're gonna reap if we faint not. Don't faint in this truth, man. Don't get the faint-hearted. Hey, brothers get distracted sometimes. Brothers fall off sometimes. But the Bible says, if you real and if you really righteous, hey, you're going to get back up and dust your feet off and start this thing again, man. A real man of the Lord never gives up, man, despite all the oppositions that he faced. All right, so let's keep going. Verse 11, woe unto the wicked. It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. All right, let's get this, man. So this, like I said, we've been going through Isaiah chapter 3, and we have not seen the so-called Jewish man, at all. He don't fit no prophecies, is what we're saying. All right, they think we just mad because the so-called white man has destroyed us. Of course we mad, man. But nevertheless, we're not about to lie because we mad. We're not about to lie on the Bible because we mad. No, we're going to tell the truth. All right, the Bible said otherwise, and we're going to say that. In fact, we did when we thought it said that. When we thought the so-called, when we thought Jesus Christ was so-called white man, and we didn't buck up against that, man. All right, when we thought that the Most High was going to save all nations, and we didn't buck up against that. Most of us are Christians, or were Christians, in the form of the modern Christianity that we speak of. So man, miss me with all that. Miss me with all that, man. Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, what is he talking about? Children are their oppressors. This gang banging lifestyle, man. Right? That's why we don't support that spirit, man. That's an evil spirit. The gang banging lifestyle is the most evilest spirit in our community, man. Why? Because you was a warrior. I'll say it like this. The gang banging lifestyle destroys any potential gifts and potential that you had, because you was a warrior before that. You was already a warrior before that. But Esau created something to where you put all your focus and energy on your own people as though that's your enemy. when really it's not, right? Children are their oppressors. What is that referring to? When we go into time at the time, soon as gangbanging in these different states, in these cities, soon as that came to his height, hey man, the people were oppressed. The elders were oppressed. You know what I'm saying? The elders were oppressed. They were speaking against it. I mean, we seen movies time at the time, but the movies, speak of a truth, man. And we ain't gotta go to movies. We just go to the hood. You know, majority of us came out of different hoods. Yeah, what? Look, like the argument said, what other nation has YNs? That's right, man. And YNs is also in the Bible. Let's bring that out. And this is YNs. That's YNs, and this is another YNs. These are YNs in the Bible. YNs is young Negroes, man. All right, let's get it real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mischievous women shall bring forth monsters. Right? Women gonna bring forth monsters. Why? Because they already a monster. You got Eves out here. You got wicked Eves. I ain't talking about Eves in the truth. I'm talking about wicked Eves. They birthing out monsters constantly. It's like a damn. It's like a cycle. You know, one come out, one get killed. Another one come out, another get killed. One come out, one get killed. You know, I mean, I done heard brothers, whole family got wiped out, man, over gangbanging. It's crazy, man. It says, for my children, it says, for my people, it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. Now, do we see a so-called small hat woman being ruling over, the so-called Jewish man? Absolutely not at all. The Jewish man is not being ruled by his wife or by his women at all. That's right. At all, man. You know what I'm saying? They're not being ruled, man. We being ruled. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of wicked, super wicked women out here of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the system uplifts them to keep us oppressed. All right? Like one of the greatest traps and weapons that Esau gave our sisters was child support. Now some like, oh no, but the man left and all that. Yes, the man did leave, but guess what? People change every day, right? People change every day. So say that man that was a dirtbag at that time end up changing his life and you want to come back and fix things. You put the system right in front of that to keep that to keep that relationship far away, right? A gift destroys the heart, man. Hey, a lot of them, there's brothers in the truth that got to pay them hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying? When they want to just take care of their kid, but they can't. Like, man, I just want to take care of my kid and be neutral with my rib. But she don't want to be neutral. Why? Because she knows she has power of the system. See that? He says, and women rule over them. And this is a sad thing, but it's real, man. We about to go all the way in, man. We ain't taking no shortcuts. But because we gotta show that this is the disease. I just seen, like I said, I wish I could pull out some videos. I just seen this Northern Kingdom sister, man. I don't know if she Issachar. I don't know if she's Zebulon. I don't know. But she was over there parading in her car with her baby in the back. And she like, She laughing, she cussing with her kid in the back. She cussing. Yeah, he seen that. And she got this letter. She looked at this letter. She knew what it was. It was child support. And she said, I will never get with his, I will never make that dude my peace. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, she said, I would never give him peace, man. And she laughing. She just in that wicked spirit, man. And the baby in the back, like a lot of these sisters, they use that as an advantage, man. And they weaponize their own babies, man. Against their dude. And that's the judgment on us for even leaving in the first place. But what we don't realize, brothers and sisters, is these curses are heavy sometimes. Heavier than we can think. So you have to be super in the spirit, because you just have to be in the spirit, man, in all situations. That's basically what it is. Because you got two people in that house with curses that just aiming at each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the curse. Let's bring that out. That's Deuteronomy 28, 40, or 50, 54. Like I said, how are we lining up our dysfunction with the scriptures if we have no connection with the scriptures as being the people, man? You're gonna have to ask these questions, man. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Right? That's that gangbanging life. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So why is deadbeat fathers in the Bible as a prophecy, as a curse? You got the answer for that, man. Because I don't see no small hats as deadbeats out in public. We on, because look, man, they are one of the most foulest people on the earth. Don't get it twisted. They're pedophiles, they all that, but they don't show it in public. We talking about those that's being exposed in public because the Most High won't allow them to hide nothing. They're the ones that we're looking at and saying, okay, hey, there's a massive good population of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians whose father is not in the house. Why? Because the curses are too heavy to be in there. Is that an excuse? Hell to the no, man. Hell to the no. There ain't no excuse. You have to fight through these curses by keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and putting your house in order to your best ability. Shalom, shalom to all the kings and princesses, man. That we ain't giving no excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? Handle your business, Jake. But the way you handle your business is by doing what Paul said. Let's see what Paul said. This is how you handle your business. First, you got to get out of this spirit. Look what Paul says, man. Because you won't be in a predicament where sisters, wicked women will rule over you. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Right? So you gotta put away childish things, man. That spirit of immaturity, of not handling responsibilities. If you lay with a woman and you have a seed with her, you have to take care of that. Now, there's like I said, everybody's situation is different, so you can't speak on everybody's situation, because you got a lot of wicked Eves, and the Lord gonna judge you, wicked Eves that's doing this, using the system to weaponize your kid against your head or your former head. The Most High gonna get up with you, man. The Most High gonna get up with you too, man. Because that's a wicked spirit, man. That's an evil spirit. It's the book of Hebrew, brother, was it Samuel ben, I think Yasharallah? He says, Hebrews 12:6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastised and scorched every son whom he received. Yeah, man. And that's what we're talking about. The Lord he chastising us heavy. We can see it, man. We see the scars and this fire ashes all on our backs because of the judgment is so heavy, man. We see it, man. You can't ignore the fact that we being judged so heavy, man. And like I said, rich or poor, small and great, nobody can escape Deuteronomy 28. You got a lot of rich folks that so-called Jakes, and they getting heavy judgment right now, man. They getting heavy judgment. Heavy judgment. Because you're not going to escape this, man. You're not going to escape these curses. There's only one pathway to go through, and if you're not going through that pathway, you will be destroyed, piece by piece. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 3 again. Because that's heavy, man. Like I said, this is the dysfunction. The Lord showing the dysfunction of Israel in the last days who fits these prophecies. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which led thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Right? You got brothers, and you got, like, there's people in my family of men that's not in the truth. Salaki. You got people that's not in the truth in my family. Hey, it's a sad thing to watch a man follow behind his wife and do anything and everything she say. It's a sad thing, man. And it's a sad thing for sisters to have that masculine spirit to even dare to even do that, man. If everybody played in their rightful position of who the Most High told you to be, hey, man, Israel will be a beautiful nation as it really is. The Lord, he don't see this filth, though. All this filth that he's not looking at. He's looking at who we going to be and who we were in the past. He declares the end from the beginning. He already, while he looking at our defiled, ghetto, wicked state we in, he's looking at the righteous, the honorable, and the zealous people that's going to come at the end. All right, and we are part of that, man. We are creating a whole new nation. This nation of Israel will have to burn, man. The 2/3. We need a reset, man. We need a reset. It's too far gone, man. All right, you got little girls already, exploring their sexuality, man. At the age of damn 8 and 9. They already know what it is. And the internet just helped them massively. Back in my day, you had to fight to you literally had to fight to be a pervert, man. Because it was hard to get on to find explicit things like that, like porno and all that. I mean, it was easy, but it was hard. It was harder than the easy access it is now, man. They had back in the day, the video stores. They had a whole curtain on one half on the whole side of the store, and that was the adult section. Of course, you had Jake come up in there, creep in there, and all the little Jakes. But what we're saying is, it wasn't so easy access to be a pervert like today, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we get into, man, through the spirit. So we're gonna wind down. I'm gonna hit a few more. I'm just gonna run through real quick because I gotta go anyway through the spirit. Let's keep going. 13. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 13. The Lord stand up to plead and stand to judge the people. This is why we're being judged constantly. Police slaughtering us, jails packing us up, sisters getting killed by men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sisters getting killed by men. Yeah, the sister, she said, yes, a lot of kids are exploring their sexuality because a lot of these were molested as kids. Yep. You know, some was molested, others they just, like I said, the internet. It's a mental molestation. You know, with all the access of this internet, you know, you can. I mean, like I said, I really believe the homosexual movement really picked up with the internet. You know, a lot of brothers they got dealt with when they were younger, but a lot didn't. A lot they was just they're just moved by the culture of today. You know, that's another thing. Jake, stop moving by the culture of every day, man. Every time there's a new generation come, Esau put a certain way that he want us to move. He used these rappers, he used the music industry, he used the movies, and he'll get Jake to go the way he want to go based off the culture. Now we went from gangbang culture in the 80s and 90s, and crack culture in the 80s, gangbang culture in the 90s and early 2000s, and now we're moving on to homosexual culture. Stop following the damn culture, man. None of this stuff we doing is our culture. Well, let's keep going. It says the Lord stand up to plead and stand to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard. The spoil of the poor is in your houses. Right? You robbed the poor. You got a lot of Jakes in the Christian realm, and they robbed the poor, man. They robbed the poor of Israel. Everybody robbing Jake, even Jake. I should make that a shirt. Everybody robbing Jake, even Jake. You know, and it's a sad thing, man. The vineyard is dealing with the nation of Israel. We are the vineyard. We are the garden. And it's supposed to be nothing but pomegranates, fruits of many diverse, fruits, but it's not. So let's keep pushing. It says, "What mean ye that you beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor?" says the Lord thy God of hosts. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking and missing as they go, and making a twinkling with their feet. Right now, do we see this today? I don't see this on the so-called Jewish woman. I don't see this, man. The twinkling of their eyes and stretched out necks, popping the necks and all that. I don't see that, but I do see it on our sisters. That's in this. That's of the nation of Israel. I do see that. Right, and they quick to fight. They quick to fight. It was say you got sisters trying to fight men. It's a bunch of confusion, man. But let's wrap it up. It says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts, which we see in the day. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their twinkling ornaments about their feet, and their clothes and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets, the mufflers, the bonnets. And he said the bonnets, that's them headdress. Right? So let's skip down all the way to 25. It says, men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty men in the war. Right? He says, so men gonna fall by the sword, that's the gunplay, and mighty man in the war. Right? So, man, hey, like I said, we fit these prophecies through the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua, and the Lord will have to reset the nation of Israel by nuclear destruction and the redemption of the elect, and the a rebirth of Israel by the elect rebirthing all Israel back into this earth, man, through the spirit of Mashiach Yahushua. We need a reset. Let's go to Acts chapter 3 real quick, and we can end with that. All right, we need a reset, man. If Noah got a reset, then the nation of Israel need a reset, man. All right, and you got to think about it. Noah had family just like we got family. Noah had certain friends he probably dealt with before the flood came that he probably stopped dealing with because he had to do the work and building the ark. Hey, we stopped dealing with. In this truth. Noah had uncles. Noah had people, man, that he knew, neighbors, but Noah needed a reset. The earth was filled with violence. Let's bring that out real quick. Because the scriptures even says, as the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. See that? So we need a reset. If Noah got a reset, hey, we gonna need a reset. And us in this truth, we're as Paul said in Galatians chapter 6, we are crucified to the world and the world to us. All right, we're dead to this world. Stop being so connected to this world, because the moment you said I do to the Lord, you turn your back on the world. So don't go back to the world trying to find fake love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a specific heart to know that the Lord gonna reset this place, and it ain't gonna look pretty, but it's gonna look beautiful at the end. It's not gonna look pretty in the time that you're going through it, time of Jacob trouble, when the Lord start resetting and start seeing families being judged, and you being saved. Lord willing, we are that number. You got to have that mind that Noah had, man. But, hey, it even messed. I'm going to tell you this, though. You know how it messed up Noah's head a lot, too? He couldn't stop drinking after that, man. Brother was tossed up to and from. It's like, man, I watched a whole society, a whole civilization, a whole earth of people that's not. There's no more. Brother just got to drinking like, now we ain't about to be drinking like that, man. Because, our next world is the world of Yahweh Shai, the world of the Israelites, man. All right. And what we're going to be drinking is the cup of blessing. That's the cup we're gonna be drinking. Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 14, man. We're gonna be drinking that up through the spirit of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Here, let me end it with this. This is Matthew chapter 26. Real quick. We want the cup. We want to be blessed coming in and blessed coming out. Right? We don't want to keep reading Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68. Just to wake our people up to show them how because they're cursed, how they fit with the scriptures. No, we want to show you how we blessed is why we fit the scriptures. But that ain't here yet, man. That's not here yet. But that will come through the spirit of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, through the new covenant that will be implemented in the new kingdom of Yahweh Shai / Israel. This is let's bring it out. This is Matthew 26 and verse 29. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this vine, of the fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Come on. That's what we looking at, man. We want to look at how the Father is going to bring, the kingdom of heaven in whom we preach. He's going to bring that upon the earth, and the cup of blessing is going to be the rod of the covenant we're going to pass in the wilderness, and the cup of blessings we're going to drink through the spirit of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. And what is the cup of blessings? Deuteronomy 28, 1 to 14. Revelations 22, Revelations 21. These are the couple blessings we want to drink, man. The new bodies, you know, the laws in our inward part where we won't be able to sin, because sin is our kryptonite, man. The Bible, even in the book of Psalms, and Yahweh Shah says, ye are gods, but ye shall die like men. Why? Because sin is our kryptonite, man. We are weak every time we sin. We are a weak people. So looking at Israel today and how weak Israel is because of the process of indulging in sin after sin after sin. It's just like a person that just constantly doing crack cocaine or any drugs. They, you know, throughout that time, their face and their that vibrant look, it start to deteriorate. Right? So we coming out of that, man. We coming out of sin, man. Rebuke sin in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, man. And live. Live, man. Die to this world and live for Mashiach Yahweh Shai. And then you'll live in a world of peace, of tranquility in the kingdom of heaven, man. But right now, just die, man. Forget it. There's nothing. What else there is in this earth that you can be satisfied with, man? You know? Forget it, man. All right, we're going to have the greatest vacation that this world will ever know. And that's going to be the kingdom, man. We ain't going to be working and paying taxes. None of that. You know, we ain't going to be working. You think you're going to be working in the kingdom? No, we're going to be using authority in the kingdom. We're going to be ministers in the kingdom. We're going to do the work of the Lord on a high level in the kingdom. That's what we're going to be doing in the kingdom, man. But all these low bottom jobs that we do today, that's just part of our curses. That's just part of our judgment. Call law by Shem Yahweh Shai. But there's going to come a day when the Most High going to turn the tables. And the tables going to turn for us. So with that, shalom, shalom. Call law by Shem Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessing to the 12 that scattered abroad. Krum, mashallah.